he's a baby, he's just very like a playful puppy, but is really deadly when he's full grown or even half grown.
Big Bad Rex, Big Bad Rex is on the prowl. He's the biggest, baddest hunter of his day. Big Bad Rex, mighty king of beast and fowl, and if you see him, better keep out of his way.
Accuracy in dinosaur parks seems to be, again, a more recent phenomenon. If you look at some of the older parks, they seem to be based on other older paintings they've seen, older figures. I think a lot of the parks are put on by people with a lot of good intentions, but without any real scientific background, and they really aren't that concerned with scientific accuracy. Now, though, a lot of the parks are.
Returning to the George Eccles Dinosaur Park in Ogden, Utah, installation of the Ceratosaurus is well underway.
We want authenticity. We want the most authentic replicas that you can find in the world that fit in an outdoor environment.
Bob Marquardt, head of the Dinosaur Development Committee, has watched his vision come to life.
We were developing 3.1 miles of parkway, and part of the theme that we had for our Ogden River Parkway was the history of the area. And we were aware that Utah had as many dinosaurs as anywhere in the world, and so this is a natural place to show them off.
During the frequent visits by school groups to the park, kids' enthusiasm for dinosaurs is translated easily into lessons about science and history.
Okay, Marissa's going to try on this one, okay?
The responsibility of delivering authentic dinosaurs fell to creature builders Tom Privat and Mike Hoffman. The process began at La Reata, their dinosaur studio near Tucson, Arizona.
We start out with a model, a small model, usually 1 inch equals a foot or a ½ inch equals a foot. Then we scale it up to a armature stage, which is the steel and rebar. And then we go into the shooting of the concrete, which is the rough-in phase. And then we go on and apply the texture.
It was a long but satisfying day for a dinosaur builder.
Feel great. I can't feel any better. It's in.
The rugged landscape of southern Alberta is the heart of Canada's dinosaur country. The ancient animals and geology found here have been recreated in a unique Mesozoic theme park at the Calgary Zoo. A piece of land which once served as a zoo's parking lot has been developed into Prehistoric Park. In fact, it's a prehistoric wonderland. Or should we say wanderland? Because you'll wander through 5 different habitats of the past that represent how the landscape of the region evolved during the Mesozoic era. The animals and plants change completely as you move from one habitat to another. The earliest of creatures are seen emerging from the ancient oceans. The inhabitants begin to look more familiar when you travel through the areas of swamplands, volcanoes, and mountain uplift, which represent later periods of time. And right in the middle of all this are the mysterious hoodoos, Mesozoic skyscrapers that can still be seen in the region. To some, they're unique geological formations. To others, a great place to hide and explore. At Prehistoric Park, you can use your imagination to project yourself into the daily life and activities of more than 24 ancient creatures. This Centrosaurus has just realized that he's been selected from the dessert tray by a nearby Tyrannosaurus. While grazing in a field of rhubarb, a 6-ton Stegosaurus ponders the meaning of life, and he's not getting any answers with a 2-ounce brain. Wow, there are so many different things to see here, it makes it hard to decide. Hey, Dad, I want to go see the volcanoes. No, wait, the swampland. No, the ancient sea. Oh, I mean the hoodoos. No, the mountain uplift. The volcanoes, the swampland, the hoodoos. Oh. It's hard to believe it's not real. It's all constructed. Remember, this was a parking lot. Once models and environments as authentic as these are produced, dinosaur fans have only one more request. Make them move. Moving animatronic dinosaurs, of a sort, made their debut at the 1933 Chicago World's Fair at an attraction called The World a Million Years Ago.
What you did is you went inside of a dome and were conveyed along a moving sidewalk past all these mechanical prehistoric animal figures. These creatures were all the forerunners of the Disney audio animatronics and the life-size prehistoric creatures now exhibited by the Dynamation Company. And if you didn't get too close and the lighting was just right, these were pretty impressive back in 1933.
Dinosaurs made another guest appearance at the New York World's Fair.
In 1964 at the World's Fair there were 2 major dinosaur exhibits. The first was put out by the Walt Disney Company, part of an exhibit called the Magic Skyway, and they had these life-size mechanical dinosaur figures, some of which are now featured at the park in Anaheim, Disneyland. Sinclair also had an exhibit called Sinclair's Dino Land. The dinosaurs were made by a company called Jonas Studios in upstate New York, and then they were floated on a barge down the Hudson River. What you're looking at here is the head of one of the figures, the original of which was featured at the World's Fair. This originally had an articulated lower jaw that opened and closed, and it was attached to about a 50-foot long body. This particular head was part of a figure that got struck by a lightning bolt, and the head got knocked off, and that's how I happened to come across it.
Likely story, Don. These pampered prehistorics are safe from the elements here in the first permanent home for animatronic dinosaurs. If this building reminds you more of a department store than a museum, it should. It was formerly a JCPenney's. The front windows now display not the latest spring fashions, but the latest in prehistoric paraphernalia. Here you can interact one-on-one with your dinosaur favorites. Look in on an active paleontology lab if you're interested in how bones of new discoveries are prepared. You can even make your own Pachycephalosaurus do tricks. Okay, sit up, roll over, play dead. Spectacular touring exhibits from such companies as Dynamation International Corporation are now bringing more and more people into museums across the country. These dinosaur celebrities may be making a personal appearance near you. What appeared to be a captured tarbosaur, an Asian version of a T-Rex, recently fascinated shoppers at a mall in Burbank, California. The tarbosaur got his start at Creative Presentations in Valencia, California, where high-tech dinosaurs and other creatures are brought to life. This tarbosaur is undergoing a final checkout before delivery to a theme park in Las Vegas.
Lifelike, that's the secret of animatronics. If it doesn't appear lifelike, it's no good. Total believability. We want people to look at these when they see them and not be sure that they're not really real. These are state-of-the-art dinosaurs. I mean, they were created under the guidance of a paleontologist, so they're as accurate as can be.
Our animations are combining really advanced computer movements along with mechanics and hydraulics and pneumatics inside, right down to the skins and the textures and materials they use nowadays.
New technologies are coming along all the time. If we look at them 3 years from now, and I'm sure there'll be so many improvements in there that these will look crude to us at that time.
If we can get that sense of realism and more advanced movements and more liquid feeling to the characters, that's kind of the next step, to the point where you really can hardly distinguish them all from living characters or creatures.
Despite a high-tech future envisioned by creative people like these, there will always be fans of places like this. Dinosaur Haven, near Norwich, Connecticut.
Dinosaur Haven is old-fashioned. It's a garden. It's not about computers or electronic things or anything like that. It's family fun. It's a quiet statement. A real good thing about Dino Haven that you don't get in other places is that you're out walking in the woods. And although the animals aren't moving around and they aren't growling and burping and doing, things that we think dinosaurs did or sounded like, you get kind of the feeling of an animal in the woods in its environment, and you don't really get that in a museum, and that I like. This is my Stegosaurus Miles, and I made it sort of as an honor to a friend of mine. I made the face to look like his face, and I invited him over when it was finished, and I said, "Will you come over and look at my Stegosaurus?" And he looked at it a long time. He said, "I like it, but it really looks stupid." And I told him much later that it was a portrait of him. He's still my friend. This is my Tyrannosaurus Rex. I started it in 1987, and I estimate that it'll be done in 97. When I began, I had no idea how big it was going to be or how long it would take me to finish. It's for everybody. Anybody that likes art and anybody that likes dinosaurs, and everybody who likes weird stuff. I have weird stuff here too, so. This ensemble is my family self-portrait as dinosaurs. Of course, this one is me, the colorful one. This one is my wife. These are two of my kids playing here, and this is a visiting cousin. We call her Cousin Emmy. I want to do more family groups. If I have a theme here at all, that's it, I guess. It's like that family kind of thing. Family fun, that's my theme. You're not a dinosaur. What are you doing here? This is my Catosaurus. I shoot from the heart. I want emotional impact. I want my people who come here and look to feel warm about dinosaurs, about families. This project is integrated with my family and my home, and it's all kind of woven into a fabric. Dinosaurs continue to hold my interest. The animals are just cool. They're wonderful. They're nature's greatest hits.
Nature's greatest hits. Dinosaurs have given us plenty to look up to. They continue to fascinate us in their many forms and interpretations. They're